बताएं story बताएं Insta की नहीं match की.
Who got the closest prediction?
I got the closest.
68 for 3.
No. It was you. It was yours was 68 for 3. Mine was 75 for 3.
Okay. So yours was the closest because first session 88 for 3 with 37 from Yashasvi Jaiswal, 606 from Rohit, Shubman and Virat Kohli. Rishabh Pant giving Jaiswal good support at 33, unbeaten. 50 run partnership, 50 plus runs.
So let's start with Gulati. What gave you this hope that they will only lose 1 wicket?
I basically expected our openers to, play the new ball effectively, and that's what I think would have been a challenge, obviously, for both of them. But then I think takes me back to that comment of Sunil Gavaskar that he made when both Rohit and Virat weren't there for the Dulip Trophy, that there's going to be rustiness, your reflexes do tend to get slow, you need to be match ready for such kind of matches. So I think that's the kind of thing that we witnessed in Rohit's batting. Gill, once again, he tried for that shot but couldn't really get it. But Kohli, I think the same old dismissal. So a bit of rustiness and a bit of carelessness there. But then I still, I would still obviously, would have backed them to make sure that, they play the new ball well, but it couldn't really happen.
So that takes me back to the point when we sat here and did our dugout and discussed that maybe they could have come and played Dulip Trophy. But then, a lot of people who are watching us, including some who are sitting here, they're too experienced, they're experienced players. They can turn on, turn off whenever they want. Is it a coincidence that the guys who've got you runs or bailed you out were playing the Dulip Trophy match, had some practice under their belt? Despite all the stories that came from practice session that Yashasvi Jaiswal is struggling, cannot play, all bowlers are beating him in the practice. He's looked the best alongside, of course, Rishabh Pant, the two of them looking rather good on the day. The fact is that nobody disputes that Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli are your biggest players. But no matter how good you are, and it's not just in this sport. If you were to look at any other sport, I gave you an example. If you're an athlete, even Usain Bolt, you're the fastest. He won't go straight running into main competition. He'll run some local races, get into rhythm before he goes. If you're a swimmer, you'll participate in some local races before you go to the Asian Games or to the Olympic Games. Whatever you are, you will do something. So nobody is denying the quality that Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli come with. Their records also speak for themselves. They have the experience, they have everything but it makes a difference. If you are coming after 200 whatever days that Siddharth counted, if you get some match practice under your belt, it helps you settle in, your feet get moving, you get used to sighting the ball. And you played 43 days ago in a series which was a white ball series. You played in different conditions. Here, no matter how much match simulation you were slightly different, would have helped. That's why I said any preparation that can help you get better. That's a preparation for, if I'm making a video, he's making a video. If you put the video now, put 2 slides, we can also record a video. But if I spend 10 minutes preparing for that video, it will only make my video better. It's not that I cannot do the video without preparation. I can, but I can make it better. So I was pretty surprised that the two decided not to play. It's not to say that they may not get run, but it will take them an inning or two to get into that mold and then get, of course, tough conditions as well. But as Yashasvi Jaiswal and Rishabh Pant showed you, that you can bat. So
at least,
he played
See, at least I got one prediction correct. That the two batters that you're going to rely a lot on, it's Jaiswal and Pant.
I think Jaiswal is a good call
Yes.
because out of the reports that were coming out of how he is struggling in net practice, plus his weakness towards some genuine, seam bowling, which we had seen in the past. He is really, and the thing is, he's looked good. So it's not been scratchy, it's not been, an iffy sort of an inning. He's looked good, he's looked assured. Again, the moving ball, again, when you had Nahid Rana come and, bowl really quick, fast deliveries towards him. He was prepared to play test match cricket and let the ball go, wasn't prepared, throwing his hand, took his time. The way he attacked Mehdi Hasan Miraj, a spinner also, didn't mind playing those horizontal bat shots as well. So yeah, he's been, and I mean that's a good call. I don't think too many people would have picked Yashasvi Jaiswal to be in these conditions, to be your standout performer. Rishabh, I think all of us kind of agreed on it that Rishabh could be that guy, but good call on Yashasvi. Yeah.
See, I always feel that on such kind of wickets, the best way to survive is to attack. Like obviously, you know, there can always be a Murli Vijay who can just leave and then just cash in on the opportunities when you get. But what Rishabh Pant's innings, you know, once again showed that you counter attack, you score those runs and automatically the opposition would be under pressure. Same, I think in case of Jaiswal, what's the brightest thing I think we have seen in his innings so far is that I think it bodes well for India heading into the Border Gavaskar Trophy, because if you get some spicy pitches there, I think it's good that, you know, he showed some patience. It's going to add to his confidence also that yes, you know, I can play that waiting game in Test cricket as and when it is required.
Yeah, his wasn't counter-attacking innings. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Though, I mean, again, just
You can play that waiting game if required.
Yeah. I mean, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, both.
I mean, see,
Social media is packed with comments, criticism.
yeah, there is one comment that is there. Kindness, respect, chivalry. You name the order in whichever way you want to, because see, Rohit, the ball that he survived that LBW appeal on, that set the demons in his mind yet again. Because
funnily enough, I was seeing Rohit doesn't have a great record against Bangladesh.
yeah,
Yes,
Just
this is 4 tests only.
39 runs against them, not gone past 50 yet.
So how many innings? About 7, 8 innings?
Yeah, 7.
Yeah,
So okay, decent sample.
yeah.
Why is
Strange.
that?
Rohit does well against the big teams, doesn't do well against the not so big teams.
Be careful what you call Bangladesh. Huh?
Not so big teams. I mean, see, for their record, Bangladesh. I mean, see, yeah,
Their country may be going through a bit of a turmoil, but their fans are always there. They'll
fans are always-
get after you if you call them.
See, these fans you have to hail them. They have been through the bottomest of bottom pits for Bangladesh when it has been. And see, they are now having the high of 2 tests versus Pakistan that they have won. Fair credit to them. The resurgence that they have had, it started even in New Zealand against, they won that 1 test there which dented
2022.
2021 champions prospects heavily. So, see, the thing is, even Virat, if you looked at it, prior to 2019, he had just 1 knock against them, missed out on a century if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, Bangladesh now are improving, and if Rohit doesn't score against them, well, it's his bad luck.
Did you notice a bit of white ball cricket in the 6-ball stay that Virat Kohli had on the crease? Because he gets out to, interesting illustration on social media, he gets out to a delivery that was on the 12th stump actually.
But
Chases a ball that is on the 12th stump.
Even-
I know he's been out like that previously, but he's also found ways to control that, right?
I mean, in the past 1 year, I don't think it has, because even in the WTC final, Scott Boland bowled a similar delivery, luring him wide outside of wide for
And then there was a meme also. First, second, third, fourth stump. Yeah.
That delivery, if I have to look at it, was a bit more wider than the one that Hassan Mahmood bowled. And credit to Hassan Mahmood, he gave the 1-2 to Rohit. Rohit got 1 back in, survived an LBW by the barrister margins. Here, an away cutter, he just etched it. Hard hands. But Virat, I don't think there is white ball. It has been there in the past also. Even peak Virat had that 4th stump issue that was there.
Exactly. Is he becoming more predictable in such conditions?
A tough call, but I mean, in the sense, he can adapt to red ball cricket as well. I mean, he wouldn't have been able to play those long red ball innings if he did not know the art of leaving. So I think somewhere, I mean, in fact, in England, the comeback that he made in his subsequent tour after being exposed by Anderson and co outside the off stump told you that there is a personality of Virat which can find a way to survive that. Of course, on and off he goes back to it like this. Again, I'm going back to that entire point. Had he spent some time playing red ball cricket, so sometimes it's also about muscle memory, you know. So it's not that Virat has not found ways to let that off stump line go. He has. just that muscle memory kicks into it. You've come from a very hectic white ball season. You've just been playing that. Of course, you were geared up to win that T20 World Cup, where the majority of the talk was about his strike rate. So all the more eager to do it, and you succeed. In fact, if you look at it today, he was on the go right from the start. Did not hit a boundary, but collected those doubles and threes. So he was on the go. He was trying to be busy. So that is what is taking me to that, that muscle memory of just having played white ball cricket, where you're a bit more active. It's not to say that he cannot now go back to his test muscle memory. It may take him a few innings, but it will. So it's just about a mental adjustment, which will take time after you do this. This is why I said, no matter how much math simulation you do, because in net practices you get another chance, right? If he was to edge this, doesn't matter. You shake your head and you start again. It's only the hard way that you learn in a test match where you have to walk off. Now, when he sits in the dressing room, that's when he starts thinking, now I'm not touching the ball. He's telling himself, so maybe next time he comes, he's trying not to go for it. So those are things that he'll have to go through.
This is the one stumbling block that India will have in the WTC final, because you look at it in this decade. See, this is the first test after a long time. Okay. Similar situation you're going to encounter in 2025, because after January 2025, you're not playing any tests.
Exactly.
You're playing 5 T20Is, 3 ODIs versus England, then the Champions Trophy, then IPL. Then you're playing the WTC in June. And in the SENA countries, for a decade when you look at it, first test in new conditions, you never do well. You hardly do well. You won in Adelaide the first test in 2018. You won in Centurion in 2021. But that is just
Maybe you
about
can organize a 4-day Challenger Trophy
in England.
in India,
But will you be able to replicate those
like
conditions?
Dulip Trophy, A, B, C, D, E.
Yeah.
You had a Challenger Trophy type. You'll have to, because that's why I said, again you'll make the same mistake. You will finish that IPL, then you will say we will do net practice, and
This
we will
is
go
the
and
problem. Your IPL will not allow you, because see, suppose, okay, again you go by the same logic. 2 batches they will leave. If your team doesn't make it to the playoffs, you go to England. But then, which county will you play? Where will the players get the time? When will the whole batch assemble? And I think this time, yet again, the first week of June itself is the WTC final in Lords. Maybe you might escape with the flat conditions that's there at Lords. Maybe. But that's also speculation. You have not been able to adjust.
No, but the conditions don't matter, Siddharth. The whole issue is that these are not the typical Indian conditions, but they're also not Cape Town first day test match, right?
Yeah.
This is also not that. So even though you may have relatively flatter conditions in Lords, but still the whole thing is about moving from white ball to red
Yes.
ball. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter what the condition.
You are
It's that
not-
mindset. It's not that in these conditions Virat cannot score runs. Of course he can. He has.
You know, the thing is, again, this wasn't banana swing that undid him.
Yeah.
Just subtle movement. Subtle movement.
No. The Rohit Sharma one, I feel it was a very good setup.
It was a
I think we were just taking the fast bowlers. That's why yesterday also, today also, I was thinking about this only, that we were not talking about the fast bowlers as such, the threat of fast bowlers that much. We were talking.
Why you did a full
No,
video
no.
on who Nahir Rana is
No.
and this.
I was, but generally the team what all the chatter was about spin bowling. There was no mention about fast bowling or how to go about fast bowling.
No. I disagree. I tell you why. I read it in a lot of media
Yeah, there are
reports.
lots of fast bowlers. as well.
Yeah,
Blown
and
in.
there were a lot of analysis, not just us in mainstream media, how Bangladesh has gone through this transformation, and it's not an overnight thing that they've got fast bowlers. They started focusing on it for a long time when they got, and then recently they got Courtney Walsh to be their consultant, then they got Alan Donald to be that. So this had been covered, everyone knew. In fact, in our studios, when we discussed, we said no matter which pitch they provide, now Bangladesh will be competing with you with the set of fast bowlers that they have. And we spoke about Shariful not even being here. He's injured.
There is Ibadat also. Ibadat gave you that win in New Zealand. And let us make one thing very clear here. Bangladesh have also looked at India how rank turners can also impact them. They are also producing rank turners
Yes.
back then. They were not getting the success. They then had to belatedly make that change. They were already behind the curve. Now they're trying to catch up with it. So, again, as I said, it was not banana swing that undid them. For banana swing and all those other things, it doesn't hurt India. Only subtle swing hurts them. Rohit, it just moved away
But
and it
that's
became
not just about India set pieces. That's the whole point of swing bowling. Whoever is swinging a lot, or even for spinners, if somebody is turning a lot, those people won't get that successful. Even with Akshar Patel, when he was so successful here, was because on rank turners he was bowling those straight ones.
Yeah.
So it's always about that little bit only. So you need to be prepared about that also. And Rohit Sharma, I feel the delivery he got out on. That was a brilliant delivery because
Yes.
you could not have left that delivery, neither you could have played that delivery. But that doesn't at all mean that he was absolutely ready for this game, because before that LBW shout, that was not a delivery he should have. He got saved, no doubt, but moving ahead also, that's not a delivery that should be troubling you so often.
He has been troubled with that for 17 years,
Yeah.
that incoming thing.
No,
It's lucky that he's not had the bowling capacity of the world to exploit that on a consistent basis.
And I think also for Virat Kohli, it was more. That's why I predicted 3 wickets, because I wasn't expecting either of them, or for that matter, Shubman Gill, with them to actually come out and sort of play the way we were expecting them to and be in form from the word go.
No, but you were expecting Rohit, because between Yashasvi and Rohit, you'd pick Rohit will be the guy.
If we had to pick one person, then I was picking. Otherwise, I wasn't picking.
But then you didn't account for Yashasvi to get, so you should have picked 4 by
Yeah,
now.
no, 3. That's why I said 3. One person I knew
But then
would
it has to
stay.
be either Rohit or Yashasvi, no? Which one?
Then Rohit. Then I would.
So then you didn't account for
But
Yashasvi.
Yashasvi, I wasn't accounting for Yashasvi because
So in
of
your
the form.
case, if Yashasvi was behind, then it should have been 4.
Yeah.
4 gone, na? Yashasvi to no chance ahead of Rohit Sharma. Should have been
Yeah.
4. So you had some faith in somebody who has not answered your faith. Who is that? Virat, Rohit or Shubman? Who?
Sure.
Because you had counted Yashasvi as a wicket.
I had counted
So who's your,
Yashasvi.
come on, tell us.
Yashasvi, Gill and Rohit hasn't. Rohit I was expecting to stay long.
So that's exactly, you
Yeah.
said, you started by saying I expected
But
Rohit to be out.
Virat Kohli also I wasn't, because again I feel that.
Okay, that's why I agree. So which was the one who's disappointed you? Because you surely didn't have Yashasvi getting.
No,
the ban.
I'll be very honest. It wasn't like I wasn't expecting 4 wickets in general. Anyone would have stayed, but I wasn't
But who's,
expecting.
when you thought of 3, who were your 3 that you thought of? Yashasvi was 100% one of them.
Yashasvi was one of them.
So who's
Virat was one of them for sure, and Gill was one of them. So Rohit hasn't. Yeah, so Rohit
Exactly.
has-
I started the whole debate. You said no. I thought
Same, I had thought-
didn't expect him to get runs.
But I am.
I thought Rohit
You
would
expected
weather
him
the
to get
conditions.
runs.
Yeah.
But he didn't. So he's disappointed.
I had thought Rohit would weather the conditions, but he
And
didn't.
I said 75 for 1, my prediction, and I expected Rohit to be
No,
out
good
like
call by
cheaply.
Gulati
Yeah.
to have picked Yashasvi.
Yeah, that I
Though his
expected.
prediction about only 1 wicket was
Yeah,
far-fetched.
but I did not expect the other 2 dismissals to be like this, because I think they both have been the, I would say, reckless shots by both the batters. I would say both Gill and Kohli here.
No,
That's-
Gill
they
was
weren't
reckless.
they weren't the best of the deliveries,
that
to be
I
honest.
agree.
They,
Gill
they
was-
weren't the best
yeah.
of deliveries. In case of Rohit, obviously, you can get as an opener, that unplayable ball, or the
Yeah.
bowler or the pace bowler can actually set you up. But in case of the other 2, I feel
No, but
it's
Virat
just
also,
reckless
reckless.
shots. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what
Even
I'm saying.
Shubman, so 2 of them.
I'm saying
But
Gill
no,
and
that's
Kohli,
exactly
reckless
what he
shots.
said.
That's what I
Reckless
said.
But
Yeah.
don't you think that the approach you had in the England series of coming out and playing aggressive cricket in that sense, that's been carried forward,
Sure,
and that's why
sure, but
but you can't do that, na? Suddenly 200 and whatever days after you're coming out for
That
a test
and the
match.
conditions. You got to respect conditions. You got flatter tracks. Maybe by the time you play your second innings, things ease out and you play aggressive, it's fine. Even credit to Rishabh and Yashasvi also. They played counter-attacking, but they also respected the condition. But dare I say, I mean...
But conditions aren't that challenging.
It is tough, yeah.
See, the
I will
kind of
tell
strike
you,
rate with Rishabh Pant and Yashasvi.
doesn't matter. I'm telling you, you would have been 5 down, sir, in these conditions.
Easily.
If only the rest of your bowlers in Nahid Rana and Taskin Ahmed bowled better.
Yeah.
They were horrendous. In a pitch like this, all you needed to do was... And this is a point that Sanjay Manjrekar made on Twitter, which is an interesting point. Exactly what I was thinking. He said what this session has shown you is that we keep talking about lines being important. But what this is showing you, it's length that is far more important than line. Because if you look at the line, Hassan Mahmood has erred in the line. He's been the worst because he was
Nahid
spreading
Rana.
across. Sorry. No. Hassan Mahmood has been worst in the line because he was spraying across. But he was the best in his length. Which is why he's managed to pick up wickets. Whereas if you saw Taskin was far better with his line. He got that corridor. His length was pathetic. Same for Nahidi, and I was here, I remember praising Nahid Rana that you know what I like about this young kid, that he is not letting his pace get carried away and he's not trying to bowl bouncers and try to scare the batsmen, because in Pakistan he got all the wickets in corridor of uncertainty, bowling sensibly. He did exactly the opposite today, got so excited with it, and I agree those first few balls where you had a Yashasvi bend, go this, that, that's why I'm saying I completely disagree. Conditions are tough.
Yeah.
It should have been 5 down by now. If there was a better bowling attack today in an Australia or a South Africa, bowlers who understood that, in fact, if India were bowling, they would have nipped Bangladesh down. Only thing they needed to do the two. I'm saying maybe Rishabh and Yashasvi would have played very well and ensured that this. But the thing is, Bangladesh would have given themselves better chance of being on top of India today if only Taskin Ahmed and Nahid Rana applied their thing and pitched it up. They did, Nahid Rana realized later, but then he heard on pitching extra. So he was either going short or trying to go in the block called too full, and which they were timing. The correct length that anyone got in this session, Hassan Mahmood, and that is what has given him those 3 wickets. Poor support cast play by both Taskin and Nahid Rana. They are lucky, India, that they had these 2 bowlers bowl like that.
Exactly.
And spinners, by the way, on that front, just whatever little we saw of Mehndi Hasan Minhas is nothing for the spinners right now. Zilch, they're going to be lambs to slaughter for the next 2-3 days. I fear for the spinners. Whether they're Indian spinners, they really have to be genius level bowlers, which Ashwin can be on occasions and really have that. But from the pitch, I don't see them getting much. Good, India's played 3 fast bowlers.
Yeah. And they will hunt in packs basically. In this case, it's only a one-man army at this point in time in Hassan Mahmood. What happened in Pakistan? All the bowlers, can you imagine when was the last time all the pacers of Bangladesh took wickets in the entire innings? It was in Pakistan. Same conditions here, but then I don't know why Nahid Rana and
flatter conditions in Pakistan. You still got a bit more juice here.
Yeah, but the second test I'm talking about, that pitch had far more juice. They realized, okay, we can't produce these roads on a continuous basis. We'll produce a slightly more spicier one in the second test match.
But I think just one more session when we'll see the juice on the wicket, because it will start to flatten down more.
But you know, which was very interesting again, listening to a lot of local knowledge from there, that if you saw, there was a bit of a spongy bounce to begin with when the match started. But now towards the second hour, that spongy bounce has gone.
Yes.
And started getting good bounce especially when Nahid Rana came.
Taskin was also bowling.
Taskin also, but in the second spell when he came back, they got that. So the pitch has gotten slightly quicker than that first hour, which is good. And I think it will stay quick for maybe a session or 2, whatever. And then maybe when you come back the next day, because that once the moisture is out, then it will be nice and quick, which is where your lengths really mattered. I mean, I don't know what happens now, but surely they have these video analysts, and when they go back, the bowlers don't realize, they will show it to them that, listen, what you're doing, look at what Hassan Mahmood did. All he did was, okay, his line was going haywire once in a while, but as soon as he got the length right, there was a wicket for you. Don't know whether it will happen. The other thing, don't know about the pitch, but at least now you'll have 2 batters who've kind of settled down. Who will come out and bat. That's a big thing. By the way, in hindsight, great decision to send Rishabh Pant. Because there were 2 schools of thought at that time. Why has Rishabh Pant come? You should have sent KL Rahul.
No, but
there was also a discussion.
Now you can say it's
now because it has worked for you. But what could have been the reason?
Because they were struggling against the left-hand batter.
They struggled with the adjustments of line and length.
So that is what I'm saying. It's not a question of trusting. Again, you can look at it like that. You're trusting Rishabh more than KL. No. I think what they realized is that line and length that they were getting for right-handers, they were troubling them far more than they were doing. I'm not taking anything away from Yashasvi, but I think that they were testing the right-handers far more than they ended up, especially when the ball going in and out. They found it, maybe it was because all of them are right-hand bowlers, that angle is not helping them bring the ball back in or take it out as much for the left-hander as they were getting for right-hander. So I'm not saying that they're not experienced enough to bowl to left-handers. Maybe the way they are bowling, or because they're right-hand bowlers, it's helping them that in that movement for right-hander. So I think they saw that. So again, taking nothing away from Rishabh and Yashasvi, that they are lucky that they are not facing that much test, but it's a problem with the bowlers who've not been able to replicate. I think they realized that pretty quickly. Whoever took that call, smart call
So
on that.
don't be surprised even if Jadeja gets a promotion.
That's what even you and I discussed
Yeah,
also, na, that Jadeja could have been promoted at 5. See, I am basically I am not a big fan of making changes to your batting order, specifically in Test cricket. But then, I had this thought, and obviously I know that different opinions can be welcome here. When you know that conditions are going to be tricky, fast bowlers are getting that lot of help. It could have been, I think, a move by India to maybe have Rishabh Pant at 3 at that point. Why not unsettle the bowlers' rhythm at that point only? Because that Rishabh Pant is that kind of a batter who can do it in a space of a few deliveries. We have seen it in T20s and ODIs also, but the format that he has been consistent the most, it is Test cricket only. So why not, sometimes make that out of the box move and have someone like a Rishabh Pant at number 3 in these conditions? Because it also adds an element of surprise, and even the opposition bowlers would also have a different school of thought or their way of going about things. Okay, we'll probably have to see how we adjust our line and lengths to Rishabh. May not just pitch up. Let's see, let's just bowl a couple of bouncers, then bowl a couple of swinging deliveries. So I think it also keeps the contest more exciting. So obviously contest here also is exciting, but that's all.
No, but
This also is
you're
exciting.
saying it in hindsight. You're saying it in hindsight. See,
Yeah, in hindsight, yeah.
I think why they pushed Rishabh earlier there, because by that time I think they had seen enough to understand maybe send a left-hander, and they're not being able to. At number 3, I don't think you could have deducted by that time that left-hander is going to be an issue for the fast bowler.
Yeah.
I think that is one thing. Secondly, maybe because Rishabh's also coming back after a long time.
And you cannot make him come back at number 3 straight away.
No, and
Yeah,
again,
I mean, also allowing him to settle down a bit. Why put him in testing conditions immediately? Yeah, maybe end of this day of test match, he gets you 80, 100, whatever, I don't know. And they say, okay, he's back. And so let's, put him at 3 on an occasion. Maybe you could do that. Yeah.
again, why do you want to? Okay, what position does Rishabh Pant bat in normally?
5 or 6.
6 only.
Yeah.
5 or 6, mostly,
5
right?
or 6.
You've seen in the past, okay, what has happened when you shuffle batters away from their position on a consistent basis.
I know.
In the long run, it impacts
But he's
them.
not saying consistently. He said just a one-off.
Just a one-off. See, conditions are tricky, and there's a chance that the right-handed batters or maybe the top order could find things difficult. That is when you have a different kind of a batter at number 3. Rishabh Pant, he is not going to play the waiting game. Maybe someone like a Shubman Gill or a Virat Kohli would do. But then have Pant at 3, let him just have a go at the bowlers, and then you see how
See,
that
you will
ball.
get challenging conditions in another 7 tests also. Okay.
Yeah.
You may get challenging conditions in 1 or 2 tests versus New Zealand. You will get about 3 or 4 versus Australia. Okay. Gabba, Adelaide, Perth.
True.
If you are going to shuffle batters looking at that particular situation, supposing a Pant example, okay, every single time you want to get him so that he can attack and take the game away. In the long run, maybe then you are impacting his consistency
He
also.
said one-off.
Even
I
no,
just
I'm
said-
saying if you use him on a consistent basis,
And
if
then
you
I think
suppose
you
if this
also
idea works.
See,
Exposing your batting lineup.
I just said, it has to be a one-off thing. You need to surprise the opposition also. That's the point.
No, but I don't think that's the right thing to do in the first test match, in the first, sort
Yeah,
of.
which is why we said that it
Can
will-
try it out in the WTC final because it's a lottery.
But see, now again, these decisions cannot be
Preempted,
decided.
yeah.
Now sitting that let's do this and no.
Yeah.
But, again, I think they took this Rishabh Pant decision based on what's happening. So you go with your fixed batting order.
Yeah.
If you see something is changing or the pitch is suddenly in a way, supposing it proved to be, it's a good pitch, but supposing it was an unplayable pitch.
Yeah.
Something ball just shooting. That's when you decide, okay, unplayable pitch, what to do? Let's send a slightly more unorthodox batter in Rishabh Pant today, because he'll just throw his bat at it. If he gets us a good thing here, then pitch settles down, we'll set. Then on those rare occasions, like they've done today. So I think they've done good. In hindsight, we can say could have sent him at 3, but I don't think they had enough deliveries to take a call by that time. They lost the first wicket when they were 14 or 15, whatever. So
Yeah, 14 for 1.
Yeah.
They had
it would have been a
lasted
very
26
big call.
balls. Yeah.
And it would have, if he got out, it would
Yeah,
have invited.
then it would have, obviously, it's a risky call. But
I mean,
then,
like, poor guys coming back after 600 odd days of pushing it.
And
there
26
back.
balls later into the test match, you are giving him an absolute this thing. I mean,
And that was such a surprise. I feel that not in the first match of the season.
see, this is a atypical Chennai wicket. It's not the past Chennai wickets which were there. Okay, so
see,
different situations,
specifically,
different kind of.
specifically in Test cricket, when Bangladesh are put under pressure, seldom it has happened that they have come out of it and gone on to win a Test match, be it at home or overseas. That was my point, that you put them under pressure early on. The bowlers, get smacked around the park, assuming that thing would have happened, that had Pant been promoted. Any which ways, their confidence would have been down. That's the point.
They can still be under pressure.
Yeah, they
If
can
this
still be.
partnership backs this entire session.
Yes.
They could still be. Can we please, Pawan, if you were kind enough to give us some questions, then we will try and take it. But if you don't want us to, it's okay. Wrap it up.
Sorry,
But Shubman Gill, what was he actually?
Bad
Up
shot.
to.
I don't know what he
terrible
was.
shot.
I think even only he can explain.
Yeah.
That
Right now, because there are a lot of other senior players in this team who sort of might not get a longer rope. He will get a lot of opportunities, but it's really high time that he starts
no, but
utilizing them.
after every failure, you can't question
No, no,
people's
it's not
thing.
after-
He just had a fantastic series in the last
Just
series.
that
you can see.
190, he had that 190.
Yeah, what is his overall numbers? Please take it out. India-England series, all test matches.
No, we can see career.
No, why career? Yaar, you're talking about now, na.
Who's
You drop or pick a player based on what he's doing recently.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just trying to say the kind of
Pawan,
where
can you
he.
please take out India versus England series?
Shubman Gill? He scored 2 centuries and 2 50s against England.
I'm saying the kind of the way he's being looked at as the next.
But
big
my
thing.
point is, I just said that you're saying it's high time he has to perform. High time,
The way he's expected to.
yeah, that's what I'm answering. For someone, you say these words when they've had a string of long failures. He just had an outstanding series, the last series. So if the first innings he failed, we cannot say high time he performs.
No,
Or high time he
arrives
but
the
he-
way he
so
needs to.
I'm just looking at his last series, not even taking you back 3 series. India versus England.
Yeah,
what-
452 runs that he had scored. in
2
that.
centuries and
so
2
after that he
50s.
played his first knock and he didn't get run. So I say now he has to step a high.
Even won India a match
Yeah.
by batting in the second
If he
innings
needs
here.
to have 3 bad series for me to say high time he steps up or he's gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not at this moment. Like that, so then every innings I will have to
Yeah.
say. Then I will have to say, Virat, you'll have to think about it, boss. We have
452.
Your captaincy is under pressure. You're not got runs. I can't do
452 at an average of 56, 250s, 200s,
200s.
2 ducks. It's been extreme for Shubman Gill in that sense. But Jaiswal was the leading run getter, and looking at it, Rohit also 400 runs, average of 44 with 2 centuries and a 50. So yes, this is the first innings that you're playing after over 7 months if you look at it. So
bad shot. Yes, I'm sure he knows that.
Exactly.
No business touching that.
And anyway, Shubman also is a slow starter. Let us be very honest about it. Even in the tests versus England, it was only after Vizag that he got going. He didn't do well in Hyderabad, so that's
There were
why.
questions on his place at that point.
Yes, but now we have to talk about now.
Because for 6-7 months he had not performed. Ever since the WTC final, till that period he had not performed. That's why. So we have to have a big corpus of non-performances at that.
Okay, Piyush Nandre is saying with great power comes great responsibility. This is my gift, this is my curse. Who am I? I am Spider-Man. Pant comes back in whites after accident, feels like personal victory. That's true actually.
Yeah.
I can't think of anyone who wouldn't have been happy looking at Pant get those runs.
He was having a little chatter with Litan Das.
Yeah.
What was it about?
I also don't know.
He was not happy about something. I think
Yeah.
there was a throw, I think, directed at him, and I think it was Litan Das who maybe collided with him. So that's where I think.
In that
that's
run out, in that
Yeah,
You
the
never
run out
see
thing,
Rishabh
yeah.
Pant. Rishabh Pant is the least expected to do. Like, be heated. He can have a banter. He can sledge in that in a funny way. But
Tim Payne will disagree with you.
no, that
he's
was
talking
also
about banter.
Yeah,
He's right.
that was banter. That wasn't like.
Was it Litton or was it
That
that
was
guy?
it.
Litton.
Zakir.
Kohli, Gambhir.
No, not in that way. No. Okay. Shubham Garg is like saying BCCI should build a F1.
Louder? How will we hear?
BCCI should build a F1 track for VL. He means VK, I think.
Or
With
KL.
white car dress so that he can do his driving sessions there so that he does not go driving in test matches. Ouch. Well, that is
when
the.
his drive comes off.
Then
We
what
were
a
going
drive.
to have a
Then what a
dugout
drive.
about the best
The
cover drive.
best.
Yeah.
Yes, good point.
Which one the best?
He's the best.
Who has the best cover drive? Sarat Chandra is saying, Nikhil sir, I am relieved now. Rohit will come good for the next innings. And Pant, man, he looked like he never left. It's looking flat now. Will India be missing Kuldeep? Rahul batted at 6 in South Africa, England too. Good point. By the way, I don't think it's still flat. Huh? So wait for this session. Wait for this session to get over. As I said, they've been aided by some real poor bowling by Bangladesh. Of course, the shine of the ball would have gone, so that will also help. But let's wait. But from day 2, day 3 onwards, I think it'll be the best batting condition. So
Yeah.
Bangladesh will be lucky in that regard to get that. Will India miss miss Kuldeep? Kuldeep actually, he's different because he doesn't really, at the moment, whatever I saw of Mehndi Hasan Miraj, and he's not a bad bowler at all, but nothing on offer for a spinner. Of course, that might change as a test match progresses. Of course, that also doesn't mean Kuldeep wouldn't have been effective because he's the kind of spinner who doesn't really need too much assistance from the pitch. We all know that. But wait till your fast bowlers are to come into play. No, let's see
Yeah.
how this goes along. Anshu.
Nikhil sir, pathetic umpiring. How on earth umpire can't give that LBW decision of Rohit out? Rohit is luckiest batsman ever. And
But can I be honest, on first look, I want to ask all of you, in the first look when you saw that ball, if you were the umpire, what's your...
I would have given it not out. It looked high for me.
I would have given it out. For my first reaction, oops, he's gone. First
Same,
reaction.
same. The one that was the umpire's call, na?
Yes.
Yeah, I would have given it out.
Because looking
Yeah,
at early morning situations, the bounce was there. I thought it would have just gone over.
I, in fact, was surprised it was clipping. I thought it would be hitting. Even
See,
when I saw the...
Same, there were two things. One, when it, the initial thing happened, I was like, yeah, this is out. But then, when the side angle came, I thought it's not really high. It could actually hit the stumps. So,
So with the early morning moisture, that was, I thought the bounce, as an umpire, I would have said, okay, maybe it's going over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Priyanshu points out, Hassan had brilliant length. He got into the minds of all three, Rocco, Gill, which one will come in or which one will go out. Reminds me of Hazelwood. Pant needs to avoid quick singles, too valuable. Yeah, that's a good point about the singles. By the way, interesting comparison with Hazelwood. I think, yeah, that's a closer comparison because I saw a few comparisons on internet with Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. I was like, no way is he moving the ball as much as Bhuvaneshwar would. Because you were talking about banana swing, that is what Bhuvaneshwar would get.
Bhuvaneshwar was, yes.
So, of course, Hassan is not that league, but he's doing just about enough. Yeah, more so in Hazelwood thing, right? Bringing it in.
On this deck, he would have been deadly.
oh yes.
Josh.
Yeah, because he would have got his lengths also right, like Hassan did.
Yeah.
Not like how Taskin and Rana.
I think Rana got too excited.
Too excited. He's happy with his pace. He's showing out to the world.
He's happy that,
It was like those England pacers in 2002. Overhead conditions, absolutely dark. Green pitch, let's go for it. But then they conceded
But I
628.
think Nahid Rana moving ahead in this test match, once he sort of his nerves
Yeah.
are settled, he'll bowl better.
He's got good pace on him.
Yeah.
He just needs somebody to see the length is perfect.
He's stepping out also. Jaiswal stepped out.
Yeah,
That
because
they
he
will
knows
do.
that with the
Nah.
ball.
Rishabh Pant was quite ahead of that, standing ahead of the pitch.
Yeah.
Like Sunil Eramili is pointing out, Kohli's dismissal is similar to WTC. I think you
Yeah,
said
Scott Boland. It was a similar delivery, he just pitched it up. Same length, but it was wider than the Hassan Mahmood one. It was wider. So
But I think it's more about Kohli sort of carrying that approach of marking his arrival. That's why he wants to get off.
not
quickly.
really. See, even peak Kohli used to struggle around that area.
Sidhu said he
You
had
remember
learned.
even in 2015 in that South Africa series, same. Kohli did struggle when they bowled that fourth stump line. So
But
that's
this
why.
wasn't the fourth stump, na? That's the
For
problem.
see,
Rohit,
that
Rohit-
picture and whatever it is, it may just be for me. Was 12th stump, 15th stump,
No.
but it was technically the fourth, fifth stump line
yeah,
that
it
was
was fifth,
there.
sixth sort of.
Yeah,
It wasn't-
exactly.
I wasn't very close.
Yeah, it wasn't very close at all.
quite wide.
Rohit one was pretty. good
Yeah,
setup.
but he has that problem.
Daniel M says Manas or Head will get Jaiswal run out if it doesn't improve his running. Good point.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, they missed one. I know
They
missed
did,
one.
they did.
Yeah, you're right. If Head or Labus Kakne are there. They will hit
Very
this time.
sharp at short leg and at gully. They are.
Okay, quick prediction before we wind up.
They will score 100 runs more, so 188, and 2 wickets they'll lose.
For 5.
5. 188 for 5.
I think they'll score. I'll just go with the score of the session.
I'll add it for you. Go ahead.
No. I think
You go with the session.
70 for 2.
70. I'll add 70 to 88. Na?
74, yeah, 70.
So it will be 158 for 4.
yeah.
No, 158 for 5.
175 for 4.
175 for
4.
So that means 87 runs for 1 wicket.
Yeah, 1 wicket.
Again 1 wicket.
I'm going another 70 runs for 2 wickets.
So you've gone with the same prediction.
Same.
Yeah.
Huh.
And you've also gone 2.
Yeah.
So I'll go 75 runs
163
Slight
for 5 then.
Ah.
163 for 5.
for 2 wickets.
Okay. Because I'm thinking they can score quickly. Pant can.
Yeah, can,
They've
of
done
course.
it, yeah.
That's why I said 100 runs.
That's
in
why I
the
said
second.
70, now one of them will stay.
Yeah. Both getting to 50.
That's too much of a prediction.
I mean, they are quite close, 13 and 17 runs away.
But
Okay, I say one will get, one will not.
Same.
I'm saying both are getting. Pant is getting there first, I think.
Possible?
No, I think both might get it.
Both.
Okay.
Anything else you want to say?
No.
Or hold your silence till we come for tea?
Tea will be 10,
Chai,
20
2:10.
minutes, yeah.
2:10 p.m. chai time. We'll see you then. You guys take care. Bye bye. Madakam Nandri, etc.
That is later.
Acha, for last show.
Last show. आता चहा पिणार. चाय पी. चहा पिणार.
Marathi stuff. He shows off. One day he'll say Gujarati line, one day he'll say Marathi line. Someday Tamil line, someday Telugu.
But you know all the languages.
No, but we'll,
Marathi was my second language. No?
but we'll say Vaddi Galla with Cha.
Don't know too many languages. Na?
Kaddu Pavan Bhaiya.